guys, it is obviously Tarot Tuesday because it's Tuesday and we're doing tarot. I'm going to be kind of like reconstructing this channel just a little bit so it makes a little bit more consistent sense. And just kind of be focused on healing versus just tarot reading. I will be still doing Tarot Tuesdays. I think that that's where I will be doing all of my tarot readings will be on Tuesdays and maybe periodically throughout the week just randomly, but Tuesdays will be like my weekly reading. So do stay tuned and just know that Tarot Tuesday is the day for tarot readings. So with that being said, I do have some other announcements. I will be kind of saying that later on in the video, just so you guys can get the information that you came here for, which is Tarot Tuesday. Uh, well, so obviously, collectively, we've all been going through a lot of turmoil and conflict and healing, and just kind of like the shadow of the universe has really revealed itself in so many different ways. Like, yeah, there's always stuff going on in like the news, there's always stuff going on in the world, but like there's like collectively like a huge shift that's really happened where like a lot of truth, revelation has like revealed itself. Like that's what the revelations are. It's like revealing truth, revealing self, revealing real identity. So you can see the lies and the deceit um within all the details. So there's that aspect of like truth revealing itself. And so a lot of like, the universal truth is the universal truth, and then we have our individual truths that won't make entire sense to everybody, but that's okay. But the point being is that we have our own individual experiences, our own individual journeys, and we have our own truths to reveal within our own selves. And so the moon the moon is a very big indicator that, spirit's calling you to like heal. It's calling you to heal. That's the first card that we have. The moon's behind or ahead of her, and she's basically kind of walking towards, not exactly at the moon, but she's walking forward. So the high priestess is really introspective, intuitive, and just she's really in tune with her subconscious. So she will kind of unlock layers of herself and reveal things with pure intent to reveal those things, not to hide or to kind of like be better or just much more intelligent. Like she only goes for purity and subconscious healing to understand like the darker, deeper layers of her psyche. So there's going to always be like this sort of like push and pull with healing. It's always going to kind of guide you towards this moon in order to show you some more things about yourself. And right now, wow, there's so many reflective cards today. There's a lot of introspection that needs to happen today. So again, the Four of Swords is very, very, very much about contemplation, reflection, and just pausing. Excuse me. There's a lot of like introspection and reflection coming with this process. And yeah, we're always contemplating, yeah, we're always reflecting, but at the same time, like there's like this core part of us that we really need to kind of hone in and dissect right now, just so we can kind of refocus our energy and prioritize our energy into our journey, so we can make sure that we're walking not necessarily like the correct path, but we're walking this path with the tools and resources that we need. So we have the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Chalices. So there's like this new feeling, this vulnerability, this new emotion, love and compassion coming through with this process because you're allowing yourself to uncover some deeper layers of your subconscious, your psyche, your shadow. So in doing so, it's unveiling a lot of energies, and it's unveiling and making space for more intimate connections, things that will actually benefit this process in a positive way versus versus more challenges. This isn't really the season for challenges. And I do want to remind you that because we have gone through a lot of challenges. We have gone through a lot of like, tribulations and just kind of like self-discovery and breaking off a lot of old connections. A lot of that can be sorrowful. It can have a lot of grief attached to it because we're literally letting go of who we used to be and shedding our skin. Like that is a struggle for anybody, for all people. It's a struggle to just like unzip that layer of skin like a cicada and just like come out of this like gross shell and just turn into like something beautiful and annoying. But joking. But there is like, there's this healing process is going to take you to like where you need to be. So you're not necessarily like stronger and more hyper independent and individual. Like no, you're seeing things from a different perspective now, so you can see where true, vulnerable, and authentic connections really, what the aspects of those really are, and where you can really thrive with them. So we do have like this King of Pentacles energy as well. So being much more competent and just a leader and master of the environment. Like you're coming into this energy where you feel like you can actually lead. Like you feel like you are much more in tune with like your emotional intelligence and just like your decision making process. Like you feel much more like keen to that. Like you feel like you're much more involved in that process now. So you have this King of Pentacles energy coming through for you too. So it's gonna take you to basically this next chapter of your life where you feel like the advocate that you always were looking for. Like you always wanted, like maybe you didn't always want like a leader, but you always like wanted to look up to something and have like this ideal perspective. Just because, from an example, like who wouldn't really want that? Like you would want, I don't know. I guess maybe that's confusing. Maybe that doesn't make sense to everybody, but we always like aspire to do better, to be better. And how do you know what that is if you don't visualize it? If you can't visualize it or see it in other people, like then how are you ever going to understand what that actually means? So you're kind of coming out of that process where you're like, okay, I don't actually need to visualize it. I don't need to see it in other people. I can just literally embody it and know what my strengths and my weaknesses are so I can pinpoint and identify those and just understand kind of maneuvering in life. Not necessarily maneuvering life with like your own flaws and stuff, but like you can maneuver through life with understanding who you are much better, and you can make decisions, much better decisions based off of understanding yourself with a different perspective, with a more open perspective, a broader perspective. So we do have this Eight of Pentacles as well. So you're seeing too where you're pouring your energy, you're seeing a lot more of that bloom. You're seeing that this is more meaningful. It has much more purpose and it has much more value because it has that purpose. So you're understanding where that energy needs to be prioritized so you can water that garden and you can watch it grow, and you're not pouring into the wrong places, because that is our biggest enemy, is pouring it in the wrong places. And I just, I'm not gonna say a whole lot about this, but I've seen it in other individuals where they want to pour so much energy into other people, and it doesn't serve them. And I know that it is a noble thing to do for other people. I totally understand that, and I have gratitude and appreciate that in other people. But at the same time, like, we need to really understand where we're pouring our water, and in what garden, because there's plants that are poisonous. There are plants that are poisonous, but everything has its job in the ecosystem too. There are like different plants that you can grow that will keep pests away. There's different type of like bugs that you can invite into your garden that will help keep pests away. So it's like always about balance. Like you have to find balance always in life. And it's not there's not like, there's not a manual for what that balance really means, because it can be so different for different people. There's like a general concept of it through spirituality. You can discover a general aspect of it, but to really pinpoint what that balance means for you individually, like you're going to have to figure that out through experience. And with that experience comes way more wisdom and knowledge. With firsthand experience, it's so much more valuable than learning through what other people tell you. If you're a great listener, skip all those lessons. Just saying, like, listen to your peers, because sometimes they really do have much more valuable, they have way more, not everybody, but a lot of people, a lot of your peers will tell you things that you actually do need to hear in some, whether it be negative or positive, like, it's either truth revealing itself, and you can kind of feel that with your intuition, if you're not biased, obviously. Or it can be like a real lesson about like what you need to learn through self-discovery. So there's two sides of that coin, but allowing yourself to be vulnerable is the key to that. If you really want to understand which side uh, that you should be looking at, just be open-minded and just kind of analyze, get some confirmations about things. We have this Ten of Pentacles, so there's a lot more like achievement, a lot more financial independence, and just being able to really get the glory of all the hard work that you've gone through. Like the justice is really coming here through, so you can be much more financially independent and do the things that make you feel better, that make you feel like you're reaching your full potential and succeeding and doing things that are positive and impact people around you. So, and again, we have this Nine of Pentacles energy, so much Pentacle energy today, that's crazy. So, you're gonna feel much more financially independent, you're gonna feel like luxury, you're gonna feel like much more joy and gratifying gratitude. Like you will feel so grateful for this process because of all the things, all the lessons that you did go through. You'll have so much more like gratitude for where you're going. Like I promise you, it will have all of that, happy tears, all that happy joy that you were wanting to experience. It will have that. And then we do have this Page of Wands. So just allow all of this to really inspire you and bring you to where you need to be, and allow yourself to experience this joy. So I know that some of us do need to hear this message. Allow yourself to experience the joy in life, because sometimes we get so connected and so caught up in all the negativity and all the toxicity and all of the negative things that we see like right here on our phone screen. So it's so easy to get caught up in that. And I just want you to like remind yourself to see the things that you need to see and block out the things that don't really serve value. Yes, you may be informing yourself. I totally get that part. That is a very important part of life, is to inform yourself. But if that information isn't providing value where you can utilize that information in your own immediate life, then it doesn't have as much value as you're placing it on. So disconnect from things that are attaching you to a negativity and attaching you to this pessimistic or toxic mindset, or this like low vibration. Allow yourself to see these things and visualize them and experience them, but don't allow yourself to get caught up in those energies, is the real message here. So yes, we need to be realistic, yes, we need to be honest, yes, we need to see the world for face value, yes, but do not get caught up in some of that shadow. Ooh. The sun! Look at you! It wants you to focus on the brighter things, bro. Joy, life, experience, growth. I know. I'm not gonna cry. I'm going through some things myself too. So, it's trying to tell you that you need to focus on the important things in life. Sometimes it's hard. But when you do, you can see that, the world isn't as gray and sorrowful as you want to see it. You're at some point and at some level you need to accept that you are attracting those things into your life by allowing yourself to constantly be a part of it. So we do have the Wheel of Fortune coming through, so allow yourself to be a part of like this abundant process and reconnecting with the world. Spirit is really telling you to reconnect and make these healthier connections with people so you can see the light, so you can see other people that do have joy, and you can not necessarily, feed off of that energy at all, but to see that energy in other people, it will help you focus on attracting that energy back into your life too. So we do have like the 7 of Wands. So it's going to be a challenge to stay on course and be perseverant and hold perseverance on this path, because you are becoming this leader, and leaders are individualistic characters, and they don't really have guides. They don't really have guides. They're like their own guide. They're usually hyper independent people who have, had to grow up from, a very young age, or just had to grow up sporadically and change sporadically, like the Tower card. But there's like this authentic strength, There's like this authentic strength that comes with that perseverance, with that just constantly moving forward, even though you have no idea where the finish line is, even though you have no idea what's going to be on the other side of that. Like, just always constantly moving forward. Like, there's like a real strength, inner strength, and that's why you're a leader too, like, because you chose to be on that journey, you chose to follow that path, and be your own advocate, and also challenge yourself, and see the other things too, because there's other lions here too. There's like, it's not just you, the lion, there's other lions too. So you're able to see things and put your energy in the right places. So all of that hard work, that shared goal, the achievement, you're gonna make like real authentic connections that help you see that you are on the right path. Like, sometimes when we're on our own individual journeys and we're coming out of that hermit mode, like, especially, it can be really difficult to understand that, there are other people that are on that same similar journey. They're just experiencing it on their own. But when you start to see other people experiencing, oh my god, this was the first time it actually flew out. Wow. These cards do not fly out. They're slick and strange and bulky. I don't know. They just don't fly out, but this one did. So this is from the Moon Mantra Oracle card deck. So, fresh ideas and intentions are beautiful. For them to take root, I must be willing to honor the past through release. Shedding that skin. We're cicadas, bro. I'm saying, it's this season. Butterflies, they're coming out of their cocoons too. It's spring. This is what happens. Anyway, sorry. Swimming in the current of feminine, watery wisdom, I allow the healing waters to wash away the struggles. That goes for masculine energy too. A lot of healing comes from feminine energy, and it's not to say that you have to be a girl to heal. That's not what feminine energy is. We all have masculine and feminine energies. Um, I won't dive into what that means because there's a lot of information on it to cover in one video. Anyway, but there's always like this feminine vulnerability, like this the vulnerability comes from your feminine side. I know that sounds taboo for some. Don't dive too deep into it. It's not that important, but it does come from like this feminine side. So whether you're masculine or feminine, the sacrifice, humiliation, and disappointments of the past gently dissolve. So all of those like desperations, all of those failures, like you're allowing them to just kind of like be a part of, not necessarily like your past where you're just like, oh, I'm just forget everything. Just pretend it never happened. That's not the energy we're talking about. You're just allowing it to dissolve and not be like that anchor and all of you. It's not your identity, and you're seeing that it's not your identity. So I emerge cleansed and refreshed, nourished and anointed, ready to meet what lies ahead. So you're allowing yourself to shed like this skin, this layer of cicada skin, and it's going to make you feel much more ready, and like, you know, like the things that you may have had like questionable doubt for, like, am I really doing this with a purpose? Is this meaningful? Is this really have any value? Am I really going to be able to help other people? Is this self-serving, or doesn't it even matter? You know, those sort of like questions come up during the hermit process when you're coming out of that dark night of the soul. Because your soul is wanting to reconnect, but there's your shadow is wanting to stay in that introspective and lower vibration, because we lower ourselves to contemplate and to think, and then we raise ourselves to take action, if that makes sense. So it's not to say that we're like we don't go through like we all go through depression in our own ways to reflect and see some of the shadow side of our layers, and then we rise up to the occasion and we vibrate higher when we're ready to take action. So in between that process can be like a struggle, like coming out and into the light. It can be a struggle for a lot of individuals, for anybody. So allowing yourself to see things where they are, and reconnect with people who are on a similar journey, that allows you to see much more of yourself and be able to reflect more of like where you are, and get the confirmations that you need that it does have the value and purpose that you're wanting. Okay, so it's not happening. We'll just pull one more card from the top of the deck. I have this feeling that it's going to be the same card. Okay. No, it's not. Okay, it's similar though. Sifting through all the falsehoods that have been imposed upon me allows me to contemplate the truth of my heart's desires. This provides clarity on what I am unwilling to settle for. Firm, loving boundaries and radical presence create the flow of connection, authenticity, and excellence. So I think this will be like your key here, your key guide to really coming out of that hermit. Is allowing yourself to kind of siphon through all of the falsehoods that you that have been imposed upon you, or that you've imposed upon yourself, and contemplate what the truth is with your heart's desires, so you can go after that desire with full gratitude and clarity, that that is what you're wanting, that is what you want to experience. And you know, spirit's going to guide you to a healthy version of that, in case, you know, obviously you're wanting to experience things that aren't necessarily good for you. I don't think that's like what you have to worry about though, but it will guide you to things that will serve better purpose and healthy healthy versions of that. So you can see that the lessons will start to dissipate and fade away. You don't feel like, you know, that you're learning and going through, and you don't have to worry about people being a part of your lessons. Like, you don't have to worry about that. That's like a, not necessarily a fear that people embody when they're on this journey, but it can be a part of the process. Is, you know, should I be connected with this person? Is this good for me? I need space. And if you need space, you need space, period. Like, just allow yourself that time. But yeah, so I'm going to make that announcement now. We have our server on Gilded. The link is down below. We are looking for leaders for energy, healing, Reiki, spiritual enthusiasts, alchemists. If you're into occultism, witchcraft, like, we have a growing community of writers and tarot readers, divination, people who want to learn and who want to lead. Like, we're growing a community. So if you're a leader yourself, or if you feel inspired to learn how to lead, then just message us, add us, join our server. You can reach out to me. I'm spiritual on Gilded, so you'll find me there. You could also comment too if you don't want to go and do all that legwork. I totally get it. You could just comment down below like, hey, I'm interested, and I will either ask you for like an email, or maybe I'll send you a link so you guys can do a sign up sheet. So we'll do sign ups and stuff, and just kind of like figure out where your expertise is, or where it could be, and where you can focus that sort of energy. So we'll be tuning into that. I am working on some projects. I know that I've been saying this for a while, but I've been doing everything on my own. It's hard, and I've been dealing with grief, loss, and a lot of conflict too. So it's it's just little me here doing everything. So I have some people helping me, so I think I feel like a lot more strong-headed, and I feel like I can accomplish more with the help. So projects are moving along, and we will be growing this community. So do reach out if you are just like spark an interest, just to get some information about it too, because we're still learning on where we want to focus this, but we are aiming towards like podcast and interviews, so there's much more valuable information. You're not just getting it from me, which how I feel about one perspective sides of things. Just saying, if you watch this content for as long as you have, you probably understand that. But anyways, so we're gonna be doing some things. So if you're just like sparking interest and just want to understand it, or if you know somebody who would be interested in this, please message us. Please, please. I will send you a link. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching Tarot Tuesday. We're gonna do some more shadow work episodes, and like I said before, Tarot Tuesday will be Tarot Tuesday, and we'll focus that for like the tarot readings. We'll have some like spread out tarot readings throughout the week too, but those will more than likely be random, because I want to consistently focus on this server and finding and building a community around healing. So that's where my focus is. That's where I am. That's where this is going. So I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's Tarot Tuesday. Stay tuned for more shadow work. We're gonna be diving into some deeper things this week. Okay, love you. Bye.